All right, today is day 8, and in the description, here's the topic for today. I really want you to think about it in this way. Imagine this. Imagine your body actually working, finally responding, with you, not against you. And I'm going to share with you today the 2 biggest things. I've been sharing with you lots of lives, my full health story over the last several days. And it's important to share those sides of the story so you could see not only my background, that's not as important, but you can really start to see how all of these pieces start to connect and to affect each other, especially if you've been on maybe the struggle bus when it comes to your health, or you're frustrated, you're plateauing, you're doing all the things, you're trying all the things. Like that's who I'm speaking to today, because I'm really sharing, just from my personal experience, the biggest gaps, the things that I now see, the quote unquote shortcuts, although we know they're not shortcuts, but if I knew about this sooner, honestly, it would have cut years off of so many other frustrations and challenges that I felt. So today I'm going to be sharing with you, because yesterday I hinted at it a little bit. I just couldn't go deep into that conversation. I knew it deserved a whole other time and topic. But yesterday I talked about the missing layer, and I wanted to be careful. It's not like the missing piece, because as we know, with health, it's all encompassing. It's not just one thing. It's not just one magic pill. It's not just one magic, thing to do, even lifestyle wise. It is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle approach. But I did indicate yesterday, one of the biggest gaps, one of the biggest things that I have learned through my personal health story and my experience, and through all of my research as well too, I talked a little bit yesterday about that missing layer, which is really getting to the root with the cell in the mitochondria, those things that I believe even supplements just can't reach. And I talked about this yesterday. You can go back and rewatch the live. But I talked about this yesterday, where a lot of the times, especially with naturopaths in the holistic kind of world, it kind of shifts from the traditional route of managing, treating symptoms with pharmaceuticals and medicine and that kind of thing, where all of a sudden I've seen this shift in this holistic world where we're still kind of treating things with supplements. And we need to really understand the power and what they can do. And yes, that can be enough for some people. For a lot of people, they can start to use a lot of these things and feel amazing, but there's still a deeper layer that it just cannot get to. And that's what I've been sharing about. So I'm going to be breaking that down today. And actually later on in this live, stay tuned, because later on, I don't believe people have this explained in such a way to really understand the difference between the role of pharmaceuticals and supplements and this other category that I'm going to go deeper in today. And I'm going to share with you the difference, so that way you're like, oh, now I understand why I may or may not be experiencing or getting closer to that, that result or that feeling in my body, that healing, that I'm looking for. So I'm going to get there later on today, but I want to get right to it. I want to share with you today, I'm actually going to be very specific on the 2 biggest things that have made the biggest difference for me. And again, I think of myself as, again, we're not perfect, right? We're human. I'm still human. I'll go out and I'll have a burger and some fries. That's my weakness from time to time. But overall, I understand health. Overall, I'm very aware. I do my best to be really mindful and to do my best to be intentional with that lifestyle approach. So I'm talking to the person again today that gets that is making that a priority when it comes to food and protein, good food, nutrition, and good quality supplements, and you're getting your mind right and your stressors and all the things. You get all that, right? So we're beyond that. But here's the 2 things that I want to talk about today. So these are the 2 shifts that I specifically focused on. I actually put the brakes on a lot of my supplementation, so kind of put that off to the side. And just by focusing on these 2 shifts, which I truly believe is the foundation to this healthy body, And when I did that, I've seen the biggest transformation in my body in the shortest amount of time. I've cut my supplement stack down, although I'm still going to supplement, but you get the point. It's like, okay, we're spending all this money on supplementation, but here's the problem. It's one thing to boost and replenish, right? When our bodies need those add-ins. But if you are looking for some deeper support and healing and restoration, that's where we can't solely rely on supplementation. And this is the part where I think that a lot of the healthcare world is missing. But I also believe, after just having a lot of great conversations with doctors over the last few months as well too, this is the direction. This is where we're going, and this is where it's going to become even more normal in today's society and in our conversations with the everyday average person, which I love. I'm really, really excited about it. Okay, so here are the two specific things that I focused on over these last couple months. And the first thing is, I talked about yesterday, is this cellular energy. And I'm really going to get into, yes, I speak about it, I talk about it, but I'm actually going to show you the how, the exact protocol, the exact thing that I've been doing. So when I was talking about yesterday, when I was focusing on the mitochondria and the cell and cell energy, basically yesterday I referred to this as like when the cell phone, right, you have the battery to your cell phone. When we think about the cells in the mitochondria, think about that as like the battery pack, the cell phone battery pack to your body, right? And there's actually, I'm going to go into this a little bit. Well, I'll just share with you the two shifts and then I'll break it down. So the two shifts, cell and mitochondria, I'm going to share with you what's actually in here that's most likely very different than you've ever taken or anything like that. And then I'm also going to focus, as I do believe a lot of people, our bodies over time, I believe, are just systemically inflamed. So anybody, when you're feeling off, when you're feeling that dis-ease, in your body, I want to be careful because I don't want to make any claims or anything like that. But basically, you're not feeling your best. Your health is not optimal. When you're feeling any of that, most likely it does come down to a level of our bodies being systemically inflamed. So the question is now, okay, how do we focus on that? How do we really, what do we need to do, right, to really focus on those two areas? And I'm going to share with you and break it down. Okay, you guys ready for this? So here's the difference, because one of the objections that I get a lot is, especially from people, is I share with them all this goodness, right? They're like, oh my gosh, yes, I get you. Yes, I understand. Yes, it sounds amazing. But yet they don't do anything. It's crazy, right? And the biggest objection that I get sometimes is, I don't know if I want to add in another thing, to take or anything like that. And I was like, okay, what that tells me is you're missing the message. You are missing the message. And I get it. I was the same way. I didn't understand how all of this worked. So I really want to break down in this live today how all of this works, so you can start to see the differences. You can start to see the power in what I'm going to show you, and what I believe, if anybody is in a place right now where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you need this. Like I will be so blunt and bold to say, you need this, okay? So here's the difference. So when we have this dis-ease going on in our body, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like for you, there's a couple different routes that a lot of people will take, right? And again, no shame in your game. There's no judgment with whatever choice you decide to take, whatever is best for you. But the reason I'm showing up live, the reason I'm sharing my story, the reason I'm sharing with you this information that I have now learned, I'm so grateful that I now know and understand this, is to inform more of you, because you may not be aware yet. You might just be a step or two, behind where I once was. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this. So I want you to see the different routes that somebody could take, right? if you're feeling this dis-ease in your body, some people can go down this traditional route. We have pharmaceuticals, medicinals. Basically, when somebody takes something like that, remember, they are man-made, and that usually doesn't, those things that you're taking, usually they don't exist already in our bodies, okay? So it's important to know that. Typically, when we take something like that, it is when we take any kind of pharmaceutical, prescription, medicinal, that kind of a thing, is that thing that you're most likely taking is forcing or overriding pathways to do a certain thing. Forcing and overriding to do a certain thing. It's forcing and overriding those pathways. So in the form of like symptom management, and most likely, I mean, a lot of those, you see it on the commercials on TV. It's like, oh, you can take this, it's going to help XYZ. Oh, by the way, it has this side effect and this side effect and this side effect and this side effect. And all of a sudden you're taking this thing, which gave you this side effect. And now you're taking this thing, like, right? Who do you know in your life right now where it's like that for them right now? Or maybe it's you right now, right? And it's not, it's a very real thing. So that is one route, right? And some people might do a combo of these, but I'm sharing this so you can really understand the difference and what it's actually doing or not doing in your body. We need to, again, be our own self-health advocate when it comes to our health and our body and what we feel is best, because we all have the power of choice. So here's the second thing. The second route that you can take is, we've all heard of supplements, right? Give me a thumbs up or give me the word SUPP in the comments if you currently take supplements. Supplements are fantastic, right? They're great. And I'm very grateful for them as well too. But here's the role of supplements. Remember, supplements are most likely vitamins, minerals, herbs, powders. They could be in the form of whole food, right? Capsules. The role is adding in. The role is boosting or nourishing what might be potentially missing, right? Because again, life, stressors, our bodies are depleted, toxins, food, like the list goes on and on and on. So it's important because things aren't just quite what they used to be. Our bodies, again, nobody has this perfect stress-free life, right? With this stress and overwhelm, like all the things, how it affects our body. So it's important. It's important to supplement, to nourish and boost our body. But the problem, again, the challenge is when we're solely focusing and we're solely relying on them to do something deeper, like restoring, functions in our body and things like that. Like, it can only do so much. So here's the difference. And I got to be really careful with what I share on Facebook, because this is another category that you might have heard people start to talk about. And actually, this has been around for a very, very long time. And it's becoming more and more familiar with people in the public because of what people are noticing with them. And it ends with tides and it begins with pep. I'm not going to say the whole word because this platform might flag me for saying it. And honestly, when we're talking about it in this way, this is stuff that like Big Pharma doesn't want us to know because they don't make money on it. So that's why I'm careful of saying it. But you guys, you got to do your own research, and I'm going to share with you. Basically, this category, I'm going to say it one more time. It ends with tides. It begins with pep. Put it together, okay? And I'm going to refer to it as something else throughout this live. Basically, I mean, honestly, I feel like they're miracle molecules, like for real. And amino acids, basically, our body is already made up of these. Our body is already made up of these like amino acids. But here's how they're different, right? Here's how they are different, especially the ones that I have been taking. These are advanced. Basically, think of them as signaling molecules, okay? These are things that our body already uses and is made up of every single day. Okay, that's it. So basically this category right here, these miracle molecules, these signaling molecules, amino acids, whatever you want to call them, what's different, remember, supplements add in, they boost, they nourish. What these do, these instruct, these communicate. Those, when I say the two biggest shifts, when I was focusing on the cell and the mitochondria, this actually instructs, communicates, supports the body in repairing and rebuilding. So instead of adding in, like I shared, they instruct the body to do something specific. Their role is to repair, is to regenerate, is to produce collagen, is to improve mitochondrial function. There are lots of these that do very specific things, very specific functions in the body. Let me know if you're getting this, you guys. Let me know if it makes sense in the comments. So when we take supplements, when we get frustrated because we're doing all the things and all of a sudden our supplement stack is increased because we're trying to do something bigger than what they're designed to do, is, you know, they boost and nourish, but they're left to their own devices of like, you take them, you consume them, and all of a sudden they're like, where do I go in the body? Like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Maybe it's here, maybe it's there. These have a very specific, I mean, there's a lot of different ones, and they specifically instruct the body to do something, again, way more targeted. So when you talk about, as I know, I get and understand the frustration, the challenge, the struggle of cost when it comes to supplementation. And while it's important, I'd rather pay for, again, people will pay for what they value. I'd rather pay for something like this that I know is going to be way more targeted in the area that my body needs, if that makes sense, okay? It's a totally different category, completely different. So when somebody says, you know, comes to me and says, I don't know, like I'm taking all this stuff already, I just don't know if I want to add on another routine, or I don't know if I want to add in another thing to my protocol or add in something more. I'm like, well, you're not adding in. Okay, here's where I need you to understand this. If you've been taking all these supplements, how long have you been taking them for? How long have you been feeling the way you've been feeling? And again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If it were me, ditch the stuff, right? Ditch the stuff, especially if it's again, I'm not saying ditch your pharmaceutical. You got to work with your doctor on that. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're just relying and you're taking all these supplements, it's like, okay, then this might be a better route for you. If you've been dealing with something for a long time, this is something that I would be wanting to put my money and invest in more, because this has a just a whole different way of signaling, telling our body what to do when it hasn't been functioning or firing before, right? That's it right there. So, and these are, so where pharmaceuticals are, I mean, yes, they're, the others are man-made, but these, remember, these are bio-identical, well, especially the ones that I use. I mean, you got, again, do your research. There's a lot out there, you guys. These are bio-identical, meaning these are, if you look at the, and I'll share a screenshot in the comments, like, I'm not holding back anything, you guys. There's only 2 ingredients. Like, this is the one of the first things that I was taking. This is I'll read it right on the bottle, a cellular mitochondrial metabolic reset. If somebody's asking me, well, how do I do that? How do I focus on the cell pathways and the mitochondria? This is what I'm doing. This is thing number 1. And the only thing it has in here are 2 ingredients. And I want you to look this up. This is something, again, I'm not claiming to be a doctor or anything like that. If it's been a while, you need to take the time. You can't afford not to take the time, if you're busy, to look these 2 things up. It's going to take you less than a minute. Go to YouTube, go to ChatGPT, go to Google. I have info as well too that I can send over, but you want to look up these 2 ingredients. It's SLU-PP-332, and we call it SLOOP. And then you also want to look up 5-amino-glycine 1 MQ. Okay, and I can put it in the comments later on after this live. You can come back to it. I want you to look this up. I want you to look this up. I want you to do your research. Like I said, it takes less than a minute. You need to know the power in this. I want you to look up the benefits of this, and I want you to ask how this might help you. Again, this is just one area, but I do believe this is a huge area when it comes to just feeling our best and optimization in our health and like healing when we focus on the energy of the cell. Again, it does so much more than this, but this is what I love most about it, because I never want that cell battery pack, right, to our bodies. I never want that to be low or empty. I always want to be working on that. So I want to share with you, this is actually really interesting. So this one is orange in color, and sometimes I get asked, what makes it orange? And this is orange because it's actually one of the ingredients that make it the orange color. It's the 5-amino-1-MQ. It's that specific amino acid that gives it this orange coating. And what's so advanced about these, because people would say too, it's like, well, if you're taking them orally, I just don't know how well it's going to be like absorbed and used in my body. Well, this is what's cool about advanced technologies, where it has this enteric coating, basically, that can withstand your, digestion and your stomach acid and all of that to get to where it needs to be. It's really, really, really cool. So again, remember, these are amino acids, basically. And these are the same building blocks that our body uses every single day. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So anyway, that is, so far, just so we can, there's one more thing that I want to share. So there's different routes that we can take, right? Pharmaceuticals, medicinal, we have the supplement category. These are in a whole different category. This is not a supplement. This is, again, whole different category. So the last thing because today's live topic, I'm sharing with you 2 things that I specifically focused on. I got a little fuzzy from the, from the little cotton balls inside of this. But remember when I stripped everything down and I really started to simplify, I was focusing more on lifestyle approaches, still the protein, getting in your steps and exercise, and making sure that you are prioritizing strength training, especially over the age of 40 or so, when we want to preserve that lean muscle and how important that is in our body to get in that protein. But the other thing that's super, super important is hydration, right? It's water. Making sure that we're getting in at least half our body, our weight in ounces of water. But here's this second missing, well, for me, second piece that I really specifically focused on for myself. Again, I'm just sharing with you my story, the 2 things that have made the biggest difference in my health in a matter of, it's been less than 2 months. Crazy, right? Anyway, less than 2 months. And this is basically, when you think about hydration, we can drink water on its own, right? Water's amazing. We know we got to get in water. But what's even better than water, and this, a lot of people talk about it, is you want to make sure that you're getting electrolytes with your water and, those minerals, and it helps your body to absorb better and all the things and to hydrate better. So I was taking a lot of my electrolytes, but there's also a level layer, even within the water and hydration, that a lot of people aren't aware of, right? So we have the water. What's better than water? Water with electrolytes. What's better than water with electrolytes is, let me know if you've ever heard of hydrogen water, but this isn't even hydrogen water. There's a really, really cool piece that I've just been blown away with, that is huge with our bodies. So when we think about the cell, right, the cellular level, and when you think about over time, again, with our cells not communicating and all of that, everything just gets bogged down. Imagine being able to give ourselves life. It kind of feels like it. Give ourselves life. where imagine if we were able to, if we were to give more oxygen to ourselves, to allow ourselves to breathe, to increase the blood flow in our body, circulation, imagine how much more these would even work. I mean, these are great on its own, but even supplements and how much better like they would work. So what's different with this that I'm taking, again, got water with electrolytes. Now we're talking hydrogen water. If you guys look up 𝘧𝘪𝘯𝘭𝘭𝘺, like he's always talking about, you know, hydrogen water. Hydrogen water is great because it really focuses on helping to give your body more oxygen, right? To oxygenate your cells so they can breathe, so they can communicate, so they can signal, so they can talk, and they can do all the things. But what's different about this that I'm taking is you can buy electrolytes, you can buy hydrogen water even. What we're finding is that even those, and I've had these in the past, those hydrogen water bottles, and press the button and make the hydrogen. But what we're finding is, and even Gary Breck, if you follow him, has mentioned this as well too, that you can be taking and drinking this hydrogen water, but over time, like it breaks down, the water bottles aren't really working the way they should. So what we're thinking we're getting in the hydrogen water, by the time it gets inside of us, we're really not. So what I've seen Gary Breck share in the past are these like hydrogen tabs. What's different that this new brand is actually amazing. It's really onto something, and you are not going to be able to find this anywhere that I've seen so far. But what's different is this is basically a combo in a sachet, in a packet that you can basically, I drink this every single morning when I wake up. And I add up, you know, maybe 10 to 12 ounces of my water, and then I dump this into my water. Basically, these are hydrogen and nitric oxide. So it's when I dump this in and I put the lid back on my water bottle, I give it a shake, I wait 5 minutes. I wait 5 minutes for the gases to do its thing. Basically, you know, you have this, it creates this hydrogen gas. There's also this thing, again, I'm not like science-y, so I don't, basically it has this thing in there called 𝘧𝘪𝘯𝘓. And that has been noted for 𝘧𝘪𝘯𝘓, when we have that in our body, basically what the 𝘧𝘪𝘯𝘓 does is it helps our body to produce its own nitric oxide. Again, in simple terms, like a 2nd or 5th grader would understand, that nitric oxide, basically what that is, it's blood flow, it's circulation. It is, when you guys think about being exhausted, brain fog, like all those things, again, because our cells, just think, it has this like cloud, right? So when I take this, when I add it to my water, and basically it does its thing. Again, this isn't technically, it's not like in the supplement category, because it's not like a vitamin C. It's not like boosting or adding in, but these are basically functional gases that change the terrain, that change the environment of the cell. And the reason why I love to take these two together is because this one is so powerful, but the more that we can hydrate the cell, the more that we can open up those pathways and get ourselves to breathe, right? And really with the nitric oxide, the blood flow, to not only let ourselves breathe, but to move all throughout our body. So it's like body wide, head to toe. That's the biggest thing. When I took this for the very first time, you guys, I noticed an immediate difference within 15, maybe even 10, 15, 20 minutes of taking this. And it was the craziest feeling. I just felt like this fog just like lifted in my brain. I felt just from head to toe. It was the coolest, you know, feeling, but it was like the blood flow just moving, right? And I felt that day so much more just clarity and focused and energized for like hours. The peak was at like 4 hours, and this actually builds up. I got to go back and look, but I think it builds up over even 20 hours maybe, or something like that. I don't know, it's crazy. So imagine that you take this every single day and it's building up in your body. So it's helping to even absorb and deliver all the other things that we're taking that much better. So that's I mean, what it's really doing, especially this, it's creating an optimal environment for performance, for just healing pathways. Yeah, they're really shifting how the body functions at the cell level. So again, this is a little bit different of a live, but I thought I wanted to really hop on because I think there's a lot of misunderstandings out there. A lot of people still aren't super clear. A lot of people are tuning in, and I love, for those of you that keep watching day after day after day, please make sure that, again, if it can help anybody in your circle, or, you know, let me know if this has helped you in any way. I'm hoping that it does. I'm hoping that it at least gives somebody, you know, that hope, inspiration. Definitely reach out to me. Comment the word body, or comment the word, comment the word body, basically. And if you want to know exactly like where I'm getting it, what these are, I can share with you some info too, to see if it's something that could be great for you. Here's the other cool perk. I want to share this because I feel for so many people that are not feeling their best right now. And here's what I want to share. This is the last little tidbit. Don't ever let cost get in your way. Don't ever let that skepticism, do your research, right? Look it up. I will share with you in the comments the exact amino acids that are in this one specifically. There's another triple stack that I'm going to be getting that is, it's helping in a whole other area of the body that's huge, right? When it does come to, I'm not gonna give that one away yet. I'm gonna wait for that one to come. But right now, this is what I focused on, these two things right here. And what's cool about this is you can go to Amazon. How many of you have gone to a naturopath or a holistic practitioner? How many of you have taken supplements? There's no money back guarantee. You take it, you see how it does in your body. You either take more of it, maybe you stop taking it, maybe you're switching other things. But what I love about this is there is a 30-day money back guarantee. So like when I share this stuff with people, I want to make sure people know that. How many other places and companies have, it just goes to show that it just goes to show that these products are really, they do what they say. they do what they say. And if they don't, then you get your money back. You can use the whole bottle, you can send it back. But a lot of the times, again, this is gonna be live for another day, if somebody, isn't necessarily getting the results or feeling that they want to get, most likely what I found is they're not doing other things. Like they're not drinking the water, they're not nourishing their body. This is just strong in the best of ways, powerful, but nothing like, this is, again, we're made up of this. But because it's really working in your body, metabolism and all that stuff, it's going to, because your body's now working, your body is now functioning, meaning your body is going to maybe be more active. It is going to want to, it's going to crave more nutrition, more this, so we got to make sure that we're not just relying on this is what I'm trying to say. So we want to make sure that we are still making sure that we're nourishing our body with food, could be with supplementation, and in all the areas, making sure that we're staying super, super hydrated so that this can do its thing, so that our cells can do its thing, and to support that environment for more repair and rebuilding. So anyway, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what you took away from this live, from this training. And again, drop body. If you want, you're not going to be able to find this anywhere either. You're just not. It's, so I would just rather have you comment the word body. I can connect you with it. That way I'm here to answer any questions. I've had experience around it. I have a lot of information that I can share with you as well too, but I will definitely share the names of these amino acids inside of the comments when this live is done too. And I encourage you to do your own research. Go to ChatGPT, go to Google, go to YouTube and look up those things. And it's wild. It's wild and it's crazy. But again, if you've been feeling this or whatever you're feeling for a long time, If nothing changes, nothing changes. It's not like adding in something more. This is, again, to be clear, this is in a whole different category. Most likely you are not taking something like this. Most likely you're taking a supplement, or most likely you're taking other, maybe a pharmaceutical or medicinal or whatever. And they're in different categories. Like it's just, you can't even compare. So if you're feeling the same way and you're really not getting further ahead, what is there to lose, right? Like what is there to lose? At the end of the day, we can make a choice. We're either choosing to continue to be sick and feeling what we're feeling, just being real and honest with you guys. I've learned the hard way as well. Or we can choose to, knowing what we know now, knowing what I know now, I'm sharing this back with you, and you can choose to try it, right? And there's a 30-day money back guarantee. Like, it's wild. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. And tomorrow will be day 9. Tomorrow, I'm going to share with you basically the specific things that I've noticed so far. Again, years and years and years, there's different things, but there's some specific things that really stood out to me doing these 2 things, and really these 2 things alone right now. And I'll share with you what those are, kind of like what I was feeling before, what I've noticed after, what came up actually taking this and what I discovered. And it's just insane. It's crazy. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for either watching live or the replay. Drop replay if you stopped by. Make sure you definitely say hello. And again, I'm here to support you on your healing journey. I'm an open book, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, ask. I'm just the guide. I'm just the connector. So I definitely, again, can point you to different tools, resources, info that I have access to. I'm happy to do that. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your day and night. And I'll come back on here and share more tomorrow.